This project plan presentation is being presented by John Sheehan for the Indiana Institute of Technology for the class MBA 6310, which class is project management. Just a small disclaimer before getting into the project. This project is completely fictitious. Any person's names, anything stated inside this project is completely fictitious and is purely coincidental. They are in no way associated with this project outside of just being inside this project is for names go. The project itself is the Mythical Music Festival. It will be taking place in Anytown, USA at their festival grounds. It will be happening June 1st and 2nd of 2024. It's a 2-day musical festival that will feature 20 musical acts, 10 acts per day. There will be 50,000 tickets that will be available for the event for purchase. The festival will feature merchandise, both event and artist related. It will also feature food and drink from our sponsors who have jumped on board for this event. The overall goal of this project in this festival is to create a festival that's sustainable and profitable, that can become a destination festival for Anytown, USA, and become an annual event so it can be repeated multiple times. Our sponsors for this festival are our good friends at Devil's Dust Bourbon, Natural Light Beer, nationally renowned beer vendor, a local soft drink distributor and water distributor in Coca-Cola, and Gordon's Foods, which is a good vendor style food sponsor. For our day one, our musical acts, we've enlisted the legendary Guns and Poisons band, magnificent band. They bring in great crowds, and the legends themselves, White Sabbath. We've got two great headliners. We've got some other bands we're bringing in that we feel strongly about. Three Wizards, Buckaroo Banzai, the Uncle Buck Band, which is an up-and-coming folk band. We have Fatal if Swallowed and Headless Horseman. There are some good regional acts. And then we have some really good up-and-coming acts, including a local act. Top Guns, Evermore, and Stillwater. Stillwater is a local band to Anytown, USA that's got a lot of good stuff being said about them nationally. And they're already creating a name, so it'd be great to kick off the festival with them. For day two, we have Motley Leopard. Again, another huge headliner, just like Guns and Poison. And then a cult favorite band in Bob Zombie. We have Buck Rogers Band, Fade to Black and Creeping Death. Some great national acts. We have some regional acts that really pull from diverse sections. We have the eclectic band Bring Out Your Dead, and then the 80s style band Save Ferris. We have Mudhoney, who's going to bring a raw sound to the stage. Raven Sage, and then another up and coming local band for Anytown, USA, Savage Crew, and they have a good underground cult following. So really excited about these 20 bands that we have enlisted for this inaugural festival. Festival ticketing, we have 3 levels of pricing. We have a VIP level, 2-day pass, which 10,000 will be sold at a $400 level. VIP for that will be their own merchandise area, their own food and beverage area, and their own porta pot area, which anybody who's been to a festival knows that waiting in line to use a restroom is a thing. So you have a area dedicated to uh, just for you for your own. So we're expecting those to sell out pretty quick. We have a $200 level, which is a VIP level, but a single day ticket, and those we've got 10,000 of those available as well. And then we have the $100 level, which we have 30,000 tickets, which is just a general admission ticket. And we're expecting a good, a full sellout of this festival. Festival phases, it will happen in 4 phases. The festival initiation phase, the festival planning phase, festival execution, and the festival closure. Festival initiation is the idea of the festival coming together, the thinking about which bands, where this can happen, which sponsors will get involved, and then putting it down into a charter. And then we have the planning phase where it really starts to come together when we start acquiring the acts, acquiring the venues, acquiring the sponsor, putting a plan together. Um, I'm going to introduce my team in just a moment, um, but that's where they really come in and help pull this together. The execution phase, which is getting the feet on the ground, getting the grounds ready for the festival, and then the actual festival happening itself. And then the phase 4, which is the closure phase, which is really it's a culmination of everything, and getting back together with my team afterwards to figure out what went well, what didn't go so well, what improvements can be made to make this whole process smoother going forward. My team members, I'm really excited about my team members. We've worked together on numerous projects. Um, we have a good chemistry, a good communication, and there's lots of experience in their specific areas of expertise. I have Stephanie Plum, who's my sponsor liaison, Jay Gatsby, who's the ground supervisor, Holden Caulfield, magnificent, magnificent fellow, um, good with musical acts, and he'll act as their liaison. Julia Childs, well renowned in food and beverage business and a good supervisor. Raylan Givens, if you haven't seen his merchandise, just wait till you see it. It's something to behold. Vic Mackey, he's great with security, and he's also going to be our liaison for our first responders who are there on scene. He's former law enforcement, so he knows the ways of law enforcement. And then my human resources on the ground supervisor helping with the workers that are hired in. Um, great guy. Uh, Gentleman from Boston, 10 years of human resources behind him, uh, is Mr. King Casey. The deliverables for this festival is going to be the festival itself. We've got the 20 great musical acts and then event-based merchandise. The artists themselves can we have tents set up for them to sell their own merchandise, but we will also have event-based merchandise specifically for this festival, and you will see that it will be a great seller. Um, been talking with Raylan already. He's got some great ideas formulating on what it's going to look like. We'll go over the festival milestones with the project plan in front of you. It's on page 7. Multiple milestones need to be met to allow this festival to happen. 3 of the biggest milestones, one of which happening today, which March 12th, 2023, which is the plan approval, is this project plan so it can go forward. Then we have the festival announcement to the public with the ticketing and all that. That's going to happen on May 1st of 2023. The festival itself happening June 1st and 2nd of 2024. The festival work breakdown schedule, or WBS, it can be found on page 8 of your project plan. From idea to completion, there are 27 tasks, and they've been split up amongst my team members to be completed. Each task is designed for the team member in their area of expertise. So I know that handing this specific task over to this member will get done on time and will stay within the realms of the scope of the plan. We also have the critical path, which is on page 9. It's a breakdown of tasks in a graph form. In the red line, you can see here shows the critical path, which is needed. These events, tasks do need to happen in order for the festival to happen. The graphical schedule, which is on page 4, I've given each task plenty of time for completion, and actually I've put in a little extra time on it just in case there's any hiccups. 2 weeks before the start of the festival, will be on the ground, and it'll take actually myself and Kim will be there 4 weeks before, so we can get workers hired in to get everything going and to make sure this festival happens. On page 10, you'll find a risk register. 10 risks were identified. Each risk has a strategic plan in place to be dealt with if it were to happen. And after the evaluation, none of the risks were deemed that were too much for this festival to happen. So this festival will happen. And just to give you a couple ideas, inclement weather, we have a plan in place to make sure the people can be safe. If there's low ticket sales, we have some promotional ideas in place to help boost ticket sales. And if we have an issue with food, we have a second vendor on standby. If we have issues with bands, which is a common issue with these, we have 5 bands that are ready to step in and be ready to fill the voids. So everything's good to go from that end. The festival budget, which is found on page 11. The budget's broken into expense and revenue categories. Expected revenue is highlighted in yellow, and the budget and revenue were placed lower than the actual costs, which actually came in really well on this. Just a few highlights. We got $175,000 from our sponsors, which we were not expecting, so that helped offset some costs, especially like the venue rental. We only budgeted $100,000 for the venue rental. It actually cost $250,000. So with the sponsors kicking in extra money for naming rights to the festival, naming rights included in the festival, we've offset that expenditure. We expected the expected cost for the festival to be produced is $1.5 million, but we're expecting a revenue somewhere around $9 million, $9.35 million to be precise. So the festival has great profitability. Just a little bit more on this. More time was added to this festival. This festival, from start to completion, is 18 months. Future festivals will be given a 12-month because this festival is laying the blueprints and foundations for future festivals. It's just not going to be for this one. It's going to be so we can make this an annual event. We want this to be a destination festival, a yearly festival that is profitable for both our company and Anytown USA. And communication is really the key to keep this festival on track, to meeting the deadlines. And like I told you, my team and I work really well together, and we've done multiple projects together. So we feel this is a good challenge, but a great challenge, and we feel this will be a great festival in the end. Thank you for your time and your consideration for this project.